Anybody that wants to have a seat, this is the time. Good afternoon. My name is Alf Barbalunga. I'm so pleased to announce today that I'm officially a candidate and on the ballot for the Berkshire County Sheriff's position. It's been a long journey for sure. First, I want to thank my wife, John Lee, who was able to make it here today with our twins, Kalina and Thorin, and her mother and my mother-in-law, Christiane. So thank you for coming. It was a pretty big production. Some of you may be aware, 14 months ago, we had a pretty big lifestyle adjustment that came in the form of these twin babies. These are our first kids. I suspect at my age, probably our last. Needless to say, we spent the last year learning how to do everything that parents learn at twice the pace and twice as often. That's why I would not be standing here today making this announcement without the support and encouragement of John Lee. She's the rock and North Star of this family, and I'm very fortunate to have her by my side, so thank you. To my family and friends, thank you for joining us here today. I also see some campaign committee members. We're going to start off rolling up our sleeves tomorrow night and doing some hard work, our first official campaign meeting. So get ready and enjoy your night, because it starts tomorrow. And also to Lynn and Mickey Soldato. They were so kind to allow us to hold today's press conference here. And it's obviously a beautiful restaurant, and we got lucky with a beautiful day. So thank you. There are some dignitaries here. We're actually batting 100%. We invited 5, and all 5 are here. The most important 5. We have Kevin Sherman, Ward 3 Counselor. Josh Cutler, previous school committee member, City of Pittsfield. Judy Forrest, Democratic Pittsfield Committee. Cliff Nyland, Democratic Pittsfield Committee, legend. And my dear friend Kathy Yon, previous chair of the City of School Committee, and she is here, so thank you so much. I want to start by telling you a little bit about myself and why I'm running. I've spent my entire career in the service of public safety in Massachusetts. I started in 1991 as a correctional officer and deputy sheriff at the Berkshire County Sheriff's Office. Then it was named the Berkshire County Sheriff's Department. For the last 20 years, I've been a chief probation officer representing the trial court probation service. In between those jobs, I've seen the justice system basically trying to always create safer communities, and pretty much any angle there is, I've seen it during my career. And I believe this extensive experience has definitely prepared me for the next step. I am a lifetime resident of Berkshire County. I've been a registered Democrat for 32 years. 7 of those years I was on the Berkshire Brigade's Democratic Steering Committee. As the chief probation officer in the Southern Berkshire District, I supervise the 15 towns on the Connecticut-New York borders. This is the second largest district court jurisdiction in all of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I started working in corrections 31 years ago, including community corrections, house of corrections, jail corrections. I have 28 years of combined experience with corrections, law enforcement, and public safety. During the past 25 consecutive years, I've had the privilege of serving in all 3 parts of our county: North Adams, Northern Berkshire, South County, Great Barrington, and obviously Central Berkshire, the Mecca, Pittsfield. I am the only candidate who has worked as a line correctional and jail officer who is in good standing in multiple unions across the state. I've worked for 3 different sheriffs and 5 different facilities across the Commonwealth, including in Berkshire County. Previously, I was the City of Pittsfield School Committee Chair and the City of Pittsfield Planning Board Vice Chair. I'm also currently a Pittsfield High School varsity coach. Finally, last month I stepped down as president of the Massachusetts Chief Probation Officer Association Incorporated. Before stepping down, over the last 8 years, I had the privilege of representing 103 men and women across the state. Also regarding experience, I'd be remiss not to acknowledge our campaign chair, standing to my left, Brandon Maurer, who's here with us today. Please an acknowledgement. We believe this campaign is going to be very unique on multiple fronts, including running in a tandem style effort. Brandon and my goals mirror each other, our morals mirror each other of what a well-functioning sheriff's office should look like. Brandon's a retired Massachusetts State Police detective. Since his retirement, he has dedicated his life to maintaining community connections that he's gained throughout his own volunteer work, service, and dedication. This young man is well known as a civil rights activist and community activist throughout all of Berkshire County. It's important for me to note that during Brandon's time in the Massachusetts State Police, him and his brother were the only black troopers in all of Berkshire County. I touch upon Brandon's race because lack of employment opportunities for our brother and sister county residents is one tenet that's really important to this team. And as we explore this lack of equity further at the sheriff's office and the campaign proceeds, I suspect this may be an issue of importance for voters out there as well. Also, Brandon personally worked as a correctional officer for the previous incumbent and knows better than most what is happening and not happening behind that curtain. I do have permission to say this. Brandon and his wonderful wife Meg are expecting their first baby by the end of this month. Now, some people may think that running for office comes naturally to me. Nothing could be further from the truth. Despite standing up here telling you that I'm running for sheriff, I'm not a career politician. I've never been interested in running for any office any time in my career. Not mayor, not senator, not state rep, not governor, and so on. My interest exclusively is in my family and bettering Berkshire County and doing everything I can to make our communities, the 30 towns and 2 cities, safe for our families to live, to work, to play. Ultimately, that's why I'm willing to step up, and I find myself here today hosting this press conference. I'm running for sheriff because I'm not convinced we're getting the quality leadership we deserve from the Berkshire County Sheriff's Office. When the incumbent began the first of his 6-year terms as sheriff in January of 2011, I sincerely wished him and his leadership team nothing but the best. I was rooting for him and his team because those men and women that are up in that department are collateral colleagues with us in this public safety business. And also because some of these employees are like family to me. But after 2 terms and 12 years of being witness to their experiences, it's become apparent that I must offer them a different leadership choice. I feel compelled to step up because 18 years and 3 terms will be too much of this administration. It's obligatory to me to literally put my money where my mouth is and offer the voters a leadership choice and for me to step forward. The sheriff's office must be accountable and transparent to the county it serves. It must include a diversity of voices and views on that leadership team. Despite the best efforts of the men and women working there, they're not getting the leadership they deserve. And if I win, we will change that. I have a 5-point initial plan to get it done, and we'll have some more pledges as this campaign proceeds throughout the summer. First, I'll make sure that the people who live in Berkshire County know how the sheriff's office is managed. They deserve to know how their taxpayer dollars are being spent over these past 12 years and what deliverables these 30 towns and 2 cities have received for these expenditures. Did you know the Berkshire County Sheriff's Office annual budget is $21 million? That's $15 million more than the Berkshire County District Attorney's Office, and that's $10 million more than the Pittsfield Police Department. Most people can't tell you the first thing about where the money's being spent, and I believe it's on purpose. It's a glaring transparency issue. The Sheriff's Office can't just warehouse individuals that are incarcerated any longer. This office must help them develop skills that will allow this population to re-enter our communities in a way that's productive. These people are going to be our neighbors, our colleagues, our subordinates, our bosses, and they're coming out. 98% of these people come out. That's the bottom line. We deserve to know what the Sheriff's Office is doing to make this happen. And we deserve to know what's going on up at the Cheshire Road facility and the 2nd Street facility. I pledge to the voters, if elected, under the umbrella of fiscal stewardship and more important, equality, all women detainees and inmates will be returned from Chicopee forthwith. These women are already at a tremendous disadvantage. The women are at a tremendous disadvantage socially, economically, criminogenic factors, and then to necessitate a 3-hour round trip for their children, their family, their loved ones, their attorneys, other support network services, is at best cruel and at worst perhaps gender discriminatory. There is and has always been room at the Cheshire Road facility for our female population. Additionally, we now have an inflated additional expense line item for these numerous transportation costs. Everybody here knows the price of fuel, where that's going, and also overtime wages for these shifts. The female population needs the most help, not banishment from their support epicenter. Second, I pledge to serve a maximum of 2 terms in office. I call this self-imposed term limits. I'm a big believer in term limits from U.S. congressional seats on down. There's a reason the sheriff's office is an elected job. We need fresh new leadership to ensure the office is running effectively. There are too many people who seek out elected office as a permanent position, and it's darn near impossible to get them out, even when they've clearly passed their effective leadership date. If the voters honor me with an election win, that's not going to happen to me. I give you my word. After all, here's a big takeaway. What can any elected sheriff do in a 3rd term that they could not get done in the first 2 terms spanning more than 1 decade? Third, I won't accept any campaign contributions from any Berkshire County Sheriff employees. Those employees have a personal and professional stake in the outcome of this election, and no one should have to worry about what kind of impact the results of this election will have on their career. I won't put those folks who work for the incumbent in that position. Fourth, I will say what my priorities are if I'm elected your sheriff, and my opponent can say what his are and during the campaign season. And you can be sure that where we differ, I will highlight these distinctions. But those contrasts will be limited to substantive policy and issue differences. I give you my word that my campaign team will not go the low road of petty and personal attacks. I highly doubt this will happen during the course of this campaign, but if there's ever a report of anyone on our team engaging in any type of unprofessional behavior, please bring it to the attention of Brandon or myself. We'll look into it, and if warranted, I'll personally apologize to the incumbent on behalf of our team. And fifth, in order to make sure the voters in Berkshire County have every opportunity to judge the candidates for themselves, I will debate anytime, anywhere, in person, virtually, hybrid, maybe something I haven't thought about. So I want that to be clear. I look forward to an honest, direct, and factual conversations that help the voters of Berkshire County understand what's at stake in this election. In closing, as your Berkshire County Sheriff, I will make the hard decisions about how every dollar is spent, like most of us have to do daily on the home front, especially if you have 2 babies keeping you out of house and home. Not spending like taxpayer-supported, free-for-all, grab and spend while you can, and how you can. And I will make sure that the average Berkshire County citizen can also track every penny, and decide for themselves if my team and I are living up to our pledges and promises. I'll make sure my office does everything in its power to make sure Berkshire County is the safest possible place to live, to play, and to raise a family. I don't profess to know every answer to every problem we face, but I do know this. No one has the credentials, clarity, conviction, and commitment that I do to run the best sheriff's office in the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I choose to do it here in Berkshire County. Over the next 3 months, I respectfully ask you to listen to what the incumbent has to say, listen to what I have to say, compare the differences, and if our campaign message resonates with you, I hope to win your support come September 6th. We're going to message out later in the week our first official campaign event. That'll be end of this month and early July, and everyone here will get a direct invitation. My name is Alf Barbalunga. It's time for a change. I'm your candidate for Berkshire County Sheriff. Thank you for everybody coming, and God bless.